YouTube, what's going on YouTube? Is Lloyd Fernandez here with another video. All right, this video right here real quick, it's one of my mindset videos. It's entitled Forgiving People from Your Past, right? Somebody had asked me to make this video. This is one of my mindset videos, so I want to make it real quick. Before I get into that, I'm gonna let you know I'm a real estate agent in York, Lancaster, Harrisburg, Hanover area. If you know anybody, Adams County, if you know anybody looking to buy or sell real estate, please send them our way. The Lloyd Fernandez team, we getting things done. We speak English and Spanish. So si tú conoces a alguien que quiere comprar casa aquí en York, Lancaster, Harrisburg, Adams County área, por favor, mándalo para nosotros. All right. So to get right into the video, this individual knows who they are. They told me to make the video, so I'm making it. So it's about forgiving people from the past, from things that may have happened to you, somebody that might have done any ill will to you, or just things that didn't work out in general, right? And it was asking me, how do you move past that? How do you forgive the person or the individual if you having trouble doing so? So the first thing, my advice would be to anybody that's in this situation that feels like this other individual, but for that individual, there's two things. To me, I would say there's two things wrong with your situation. If you're still not forgiving the individual, you're still holding on to a grudge from your past for something that happened in the past, somebody may have done to you, or something, a relationship that didn't go well, and you're still upset that it didn't go well. Reason being is you gotta be doing more with your self-growth, because time heals everything, right? Obviously, when something happens, something hurts, it doesn't go away overnight. So things are it's still gonna be there. But you should be growing. So you should be spending your time growing, and you should be too busy growing and finding out who you are, what works for you financially, mentally, physically, getting better, that you shouldn't even have enough time. I'm not saying you're not going to think about it, but you shouldn't have a lot of time to think about that. You should be working on yourself. You should be doing XYZ, getting your finances better, getting your physical better, getting your mental better, all of these areas, emotionally better by researching things, finding out more about yourself. So you should be really busy doing all these things than putting your energy and time into worrying about not forgiving the person from the past. And over time, while you're doing all of these things, like I said, that doesn't mean the emotional part isn't going to hurt still, or you're going to completely forget. You're not. But while you keep yourself busy, you're growing, you're making yourself better. And at some point during this time period, it's just going to go away, because you're going to be so busy taking care of the things of growth within yourself that as time goes on and you're moving, you're growing in this area, you're growing in that area, you're growing in this area, that you're just like, wow, like it's not even that serious anymore to me. Like that's not even something that I need to even worry about. I'm not upset anymore. You look, and then when you start reflecting on the situation, like, okay, this person might have did wrong here, this person might have did wrong there, or they did this. But you start looking at the mistakes you made, like, oh, I shouldn't have did this, I shouldn't have did that, when from my end of the situation, or looking at it like, why was I even with this person in the first place, knowing what I knew at the time, and I stayed, or I entered that situation knowing this, what was wrong with me that I need to grow to within myself to not do that again in the future, because I shouldn't even have been there. That's a big deal. Instead of pointing the fingers at the individual and being mad at them and wishing that they would change and they wouldn't have done what they did, you can't change the past. You can't change that individual. That individual has to change themselves. But the only person that you can change is yourself. So take that situation, instead of holding a grudge and being not forgiving the person or being upset, look at the situation and see where were the mistakes you made. You might have made mistakes with the individual itself, or you might have made a mistake by even being there. Why you even got in that situation with that person? Why you even got in that relationship? Or why you even stayed after certain things? So these are things you got to find out about yourself, and forget about that individual, because that person is that person and you're you. So you have to move on from it, and eventually you will forgive, but you have to get busy growing yourself financially, mentally, emotionally, and physically, improving yourself, and you should always be improving yourself, whether you're with somebody or you're not in a relationship or not. But since in that situation you might have not, because you was caught up in that, now you can, now you know, and eventually in time things will, you won't feel so angry for that individual. And when you get to the point where you're reflecting on the things you did wrong and you forget about the wrongs that they did, you're heading in the right direction. You know that you're letting it go, you're forgiving that person. And again, like, you can only blame yourself at the end of the day, because nobody puts a gun to anybody's head to be in any relationship, to be in any situation with another individual. You made that choice, and that's something you have to discover with making your choices better and choosing who you choose to be around and spend your time with better. So these are things you need to be working on. And also, you don't want to still hold that grudge, because at the end of the day, you're giving that person the power. Like, you're giving that person the win, because you're saying, I'm so angry, but you're so caught up on being angry, and that energy that you should be spending on growing, doing other things, you're putting it into that person. So that person is still taken from you, because you're mentally still focused on that. And I'm not saying everybody's, guilty. We all been there. I've been there, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not knocking you. But what I'm saying is, you got to get out of that. You're still giving them the power, right? They're taking energy from you. They're taking mind space from you, and you need to let that go, because it's stopping you from becoming whoever it is you're supposed to become by growing. Like, you got to actually be on your job growing. It's not going to fall from the sky. You got to put the work in, and that's what you should be doing. While you're angry, okay, cool, something just happened, you can't let it go. All right, cool, feel like that, and be working on yourself in all those areas, financially, physically, mentally, and emotionally. And eventually you'll be like, oh crap, I forgot that I was angry at this person one day, and then 2 days, and then a week, and then a month, and then you're like, I'm not even thinking about that. Like, wow, I'm not that mad anymore, because you're busy, you're growing, and then it becomes nothing. It's like, and then you can see the individual and be fine. Like, hey, it's not even a big deal. When you can look at like the person and be like, you know what, it's not even your fault, it's my fault. I let that happen to me. I let you do that to me. I let myself be in that situation. Or I did this mistake. I did this mistake to you. Because you can only fix you. You can't fix another individual. They have to do that work. You can't make nobody do nothing. Period. You can only make the choices for yourself to do things. And that's how you let that stuff go. That's how you forgive somebody from the past. So the person that asked me to make this video, I'll tag you in it when I put it on my social media site. But that's what you gotta do, man. And I'm not saying it's gonna be an overnight thing. You just gotta stay focused, make a plan to improve yourself mentally, physically, emotionally, and financially, and focus on that. Yeah, it's still gonna be in the back of your mind. You're gonna think about it, but do that while growing in these areas. And eventually you'll think about that less and less, and you'll be thinking about growing in these 4 areas more and more as you grow and you grow, and then things just start coming to you from different areas, different things, and then that stuff, you don't even care anymore, right? And grow from it. Like, if, when you're over it and you're not angry anymore, reflect and see, where was your mistakes at in that situation? What did you do, right? Or why was you in that situation? Why did you choose to stay, or whatever the case may be? Take that time to evaluate that, so you don't repeat that moving forward in the future. And you forgive that person, because they're human just like you. They made mistakes just like you. They're growing just like you, or you would hope that they're growing. But at the same time, whether they're growing or not, they're still going through. We live all in the same world. We all got the same time. So, and it could have been your bad choice. It could have been, why did you even deal with that individual? Maybe, okay, maybe they shouldn't be that way, but at the end of the day, you chose to get in the situation with that individual anyway. So you should be more careful on who you're choosing to do anything with, whether it's relationship or whatever it is, friendships or whatever. So that's how you move past it, man. That's I'm gonna end it right here. I don't want to go too crazy into it. But again, I'm going to repeat it one last time. You should be growing. You should be too busy growing to be worrying about or being angry at somebody else. And like I said, if you are, because it's human and you're still in the early stages, get busy on growing mentally, emotionally, physically, and financially. That eventually your mind will think about that less and less and less, and you'll be growing. You won't be just wasting your time doing nothing while thinking about it. You'll be growing. And then when it's all done, you grew in a lot of areas, and you're moving forward in life. You're better than you was when you was in that situation. A lot better. And you forgive them, and you're over it. That's the key. It's not no overnight fix. There's nothing I could tell you that from here to next week or here to tomorrow that's gonna make that go away. That's something you gotta do. You gotta put the work in, growing yourself in these areas, and eventually over time, you'll be able to forgive people from your past, things from your past. Because you're like, look, at the end of the day, it was all me. I put myself in those situations. I made those choices. I'm not perfect. Even if somebody like convinced you and you just fell for it, oh well, you still fell for it. So work on not falling for these things, and because I can't stress it enough. Like, there's no reason to look at it and blame and be angry at somebody else. Yes, they shouldn't have did that. Okay, but you fell for it. You let it happen. You was in that situation. You had a relationship with that person. You associated with that person, whatever it is. So, and you can only change you. You can't change the world around you. That's why when you change yourself inside, things start changing externally. It's not change externally and things change inside. It does not work like that. You change inside and things around you and externally start to change. You have to work within to get the things without, not the reverse. A lot of people get that mixed up. All right, guys, but that's a whole nother video. All right, guys, so that's the end of my videos, my mindset video. If you're watching this long, make sure you subscribe. That means you like my videos. You got to click on that button and subscribe. Hit the notification buttons for when I put any new videos. And if you're watching this on social media sites, go to the YouTube channel, support me, subscribe, like, comment. It helps me a lot with the YouTube channel. I know I haven't put up a video for a while. I'm crazy busy with the real estate and a lot of other things. I was competing in just some competitions and stuff like that. So I was like all over the place, but I'm gonna get back on it. And also I'm a real estate agent in Central Pennsylvania, York, Lancaster, Harrisburg, Adams County area. So if you know anybody looking to buy or sell real estate, please send them our way. The Lloyd Fernandez team, we're getting things done. Look up the reviews on Zillow. We got great reviews. We do a great job. We try to help everybody we can and do it, with great customer service. And we speak English and Spanish. So si tú conoces a alguien que quiere comprar casa aquí en York, Lancaster, Harrisburg, área, Adams County, Hanover área, por favor, mándalo para nosotros poder ayudarlo. All right, guys, like I always say, I wish you luck, I wish you success, and I wish you good health. Peace, YouTube.